CPs, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to another Tuesday, another week, another video. Yay! So I read something a very long time ago and I came across it on my phone recently. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this concept. It was a list of lessons from the queer community. And basically I think it holds so true. I think there are a whole lot of lessons that the entire world can learn from the LGBT plus community. Things that the culture of sexual orientation and gender identity teaches us that, to put it very frankly, straight and cis culture does not. And now this isn't to say that LGBT plus people in the community have everything figured out and they're the most amazing people in the world. Far from it. And it's not to say that these lessons are only to do with gender identity or sexual attraction. I really think these are universally applicable. Or that only LGBT plus people know these from the offset. I know a ton of people, for example, who are straight and cis and who are very reflective or who have gone through individual circumstances that not everybody goes through, that means that they have had to learn these lessons the hard way as well. But I do think that most LGBT plus people, the majority of LGBT plus people, have had to learn these lessons through hardships that are universally faced by that community at some point in their lives. And I think what it shows, to me at least, is that aspects of queer culture, LGBT plus culture, makes me question what is just taken for granted or what is just seen as normal in straight and cis communities. And if you didn't already know, you will know now that one of my biggest passions is learning from the stories of other people. So here are 10 lessons that I have learned from being part of the LGBT plus community and from knowing other people who are in the LGBT plus community, and I hope they can help you too. Number 1, marriage is a privilege and it should be appreciated. Those who can legally get married and have access to the means to get married to someone who they actually want to marry should appreciate the fact that they can actually do this and should also respect people who just don't want to. Gay rights and gay marriage are still a huge battle in some places across the world today. It astonishes me how even the places that accept gay marriage now, how recently that came about. But to the non-LGBT plus community, when you talk about marriage, it's just like, yeah, it's just something I do, isn't it? It's just something I have to do. In particular, I seem to notice it more in men. They'll be like, oh, game over, poof, the ball and chain. Like they see marriage as a tying down, as a bad thing. Even in my own closer circles, I see and I hear people who are in relationships who do nothing but complain about their marriages when they get together. And I'm like, what? Why did you even get married? What? Is this making you happy? If all you're gonna do is complain, what is the purpose? A lot of people in the world, the majority of people in the world, I think take it for granted that marriage is just an automatic process. It's what you do. Whereas the gay and bi community, even to this day, are still fighting for that right to be given to them. So just realise that marriage is a privilege. Seeing Jamie get his GRC, for example, and be told that he could marry in his own gender, and just seeing how emotional he got during that process just very much humbled me, and it definitely showed me that. So that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, speaking of judgment from others, you dress how you want to dress, because you dress for you. If you don't want to wear dresses or makeup, you don't have to. If you don't want to wear heels to work, you don't have to. If you want to wear heels and you want to wear makeup but you know you're going to be judged for it, you do you. Gender expression, the way that we use what is typically seen as being masculine or feminine in what we choose to wear, in how we choose to act, in the cocktails that we choose to drink. It doesn't have to be limited to whether you are male or female. You dress and you express however you want to. And also respect people who do actually choose to wear heels for very long periods of time, because if anything, RuPaul has taught me that. Oh, I do not envy the feet of a drag queen. And this lesson applies to everyone. Body positivity, culture, religion. If you're ordering a pina colada at a bar and you're worried that's gonna come in a curvy glass with a tiny little umbrella, you think your friends are gonna tease you for it, you take that tiny umbrella, you take that glass, you hold it proud. Very passionate about pina coladas. Lesson 3. The word family is more than bloodline. It is who you choose to hold near. If you have a family that supports you and loves you and stands with you, even when the entire world seems like it's against you, good for you. I'm so happy for you. But not everybody has that. Loyalty and respect is earned. It's a two-way street, baby. And if they're not giving it to you, they don't deserve to be called family or to be in your life. Number 4, words are powerful, and being sensitive to words or calling people out for their use of words is not being weak. It means that you're listening, it means that you're paying attention, and it means that you are brave enough to call people out for the benefit of the greater good. I'm sure this is a lesson that every minority group can relate to, not just LGBT plus people are forced to learn this lesson the hard way. BLM comes to mind, certainly. You are not a snowflake. You are not wrong. You should not feel embarrassed for calling out a joke that is made in poor taste. You are not weak for saying that you feel hurt by someone's words. Words are powerful, and we need to be careful when we're using them and keep in mind of everybody, not just ourselves. And we also need to listen when someone tells us that perhaps the way that we're using it is wrong and needs to be reconsidered. Lesson 5, and this one's a difficult one. People are going to judge you and they are going to hate you, even if they only know one tiny thing about you, or they don't know about you at all. They've just looked at you and they've made an impression. That is just gonna happen. You can never please everybody. And if they do that, and if they decide they don't want to interact with you or get to know you, that is on them. That is not on you. You are not at fault. You do not need to take that into consideration, and you are certainly not broken. You don't need these people in your life. You can, if they come back and say my bad, great. But if they don't, bye, bye, see you later, bye. Lesson 6, sex can be very wild. And sex should be fun. And now I'm not talking about the labels male and female when I talk about sex in this instance. For once, on the rare occasion, I'm actually talking about sex. I mean sex, actual sex. Doing it. Hanky-panky. Making love. Buttering the bread. Riding the pony. Why do I know so many euphemisms for that? To be fair, anything can be made into a euphemism for sex, particularly if it's a verb. Constructing the mac and cheese. Tightening the bolt. Stroking the monkey. Ooh. Anyway, my point is, LGBT plus people know that sex is more than just putting the card in the envelope. It can be so much more, it should be so much more, and it is so much fun. It makes me laugh so much when people are like, oh, you can't have sex the normal way. Oh, boo you. And then all they do is the one thing. If the LGBT plus community can teach us anything about sex, it's to explore, it is to have fun, and it's through this fun new process that we can communicate and consent. It is more intimate, it is more special, and I'm telling you, there is a whole wide world for you out there. The vanilla people who do not think that anything but penetration is sex, you deserve to know the truth. And I should also add here that sex is not a necessity. That's another thing the LGBT plus community has taught us. If you do not enjoy it, if you do not want to do it, you do not have to do it, so stop with the peer pressure, damn it. Lesson number 7. Just like with marriage, having kids is a choice. And also, children are expensive. And now I'm not just talking about nappies, I'm talking about the process of having children. And I get it, I'm not saying, as I said before, this isn't just the LGBT plus community. I understand I have PCOS away from my LGBT plus identity, and with that has come fertility issues that I've foreseen and known about for many, many years. Many straight and cis people may not be able to have kids or conceive naturally. And my overall point is that process to be able to conceive naturally is often taken for granted. But even within the LGBT plus community, specifically here in the UK, that's what I have knowledge about, the NHS process will offer things to straight cis couples more than they will to LGBT plus couples. In terms of fertility treatment, it's often not considered a necessity for LGBT plus people in the same way that it is for a straight couple who can't conceive for other reasons. And fertility treatment is freaking expensive, so that's quite a big deal. And also, some people just don't want to have kids, as well as other people not being able to have kids, and they shouldn't be shamed or judged for that, or forced into doing something that they don't want to do. It is not a must. It's not a, well, that's just the way life goes. Yeah, whoops, accidentally it sometimes kind of happens. No, it doesn't, particularly not in the LGBT plus community. And we should just leave people to do what they want to do in terms of kids and their future. And we shouldn't be judging them for it. That's the whole lesson here. Don't judge. Love. Don't judge. Number 8, community is important. And I'm not just talking about family and friends. I mean the group of people who you don't know, who are effectively strangers, but who share the same characteristic as you. And because of this group of people, because of this huge part of humanity, it feels like you're not alone. LGBT plus people have this in the form of community groups, more so than straight and cis people. We have pride events, which are just so fantastic. And before I was part of the LGBT plus community, or was very knowledgeable about its existence, I never saw people coming together for a common cause like that. And I feel like it is so underrated. So underrated. There is something so humbling and so emotional about seeing this huge group of people all fighting to support one cause, and knowing that if you're ever in trouble, you can just go online to a Discord, you can find your tribe wherever that may be, and you can rely on them, and you can let them rely on you, because that is what humans do. Lesson number 9. This is an important one. They're all important. This is particularly important. You live your life for you. Not for somebody else's happiness, not for somebody else's reputation or ambition, for you. If somebody else wants to call you selfish because you don't want to be with someone that they think you should be with, or because your heart needs to do something that they don't agree with because it's going to bring shame upon your family, what will people think? How dare you do this to me? Then fine, call me selfish. call me selfish, because you know what? It is my life, and I am the one that's gonna have to live through these decisions day out. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna have to sleep with this person or look at myself in the mirror, not you. So I need to make my own decisions and live my life for me. And this doesn't just relate to judgment, it also relates to permission. If I fancy someone, I'm gonna tell you I fancy you. Who the hell cares if you're a woman and they are a guy and you're like, oh no, I need to wait, I need to wait. If the gay community did that, nobody would go out with anybody. You live your life for you. You choose your next steps, and as long as you think, you know in here and in here that you are doing the right thing, things will work out. And the final lesson that I would like to leave you with today, that is super simple and that needs no explanation, is this. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Thank you, Mama Roo! Love yourself first and foremost, my sweet peas, and if you have any other lessons that you would like to share that you have found from the LGBT+ community, or any community for that matter, pop them down below. Let's start that discussion. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will catch you on Thursday with another video. Be kind and have a great day. Bye!